Giacomo Vrioni's New England Revolution career has been underwhelming at best. After arriving from Juventus for a transfer fee close to $4 million, he's managed only 10 goals in 51 games over 2 seasons so far for the club. And having played for 8 different clubs already, 4 of which were on loan, the 25-year-old striker is already something of a journeyman, and some fans have already been calling for his departure. That looks set to change, however, with the arrival of new manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Vrioni has had a fantastic start to the 2024-25 season, scoring 4 goals and contributing 2 assists in just 5 games in the MLS. And he'll be looking to get off to the same quick start in the US Open Cup as we take on Inter Miami in our first and featured game of the episode. Got 5 games in total to get to today, 4 league games in addition to that cup match, consisting of trips away to New York City and Toronto, and we'll host Charlotte and Inter Miami at home. You guys voted for the featured game that you would like to see, and the cup game against Inter Miami won with a massive 59% of the votes. So we will be facing the likes of Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba here today. They will be joined by Calendar in goal, Vigant, Friere, Aviles at the back, Ruiz and Gomez in midfield, and Rojas at right wing. Whereas Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is again going, of course, with his strongest 11 that he has come to rely on already in the series so far. Tyler Dean, the rookie first-round goalkeeper, starts. By and Jones at fullback, Kessler and Neumann, the pairing at centre-back. Maloney plays just behind Carles Gil in centre midfield. Nacho Gil and Thomas Chonkalai will play out wide. Rodriguez and Vrioni through the middle. So without further ado, let's head down to Miami and let's see if we can make the likes of Messi, Suarez, Busquets regret that they ever joined the MLS. So we are up in the commentary box in a rather miserable looking Miami. The weather looks terrible. There's a rather inconspicuous large concrete tower block just behind the stadium, the likes of which I have never seen in images of Miami. I haven't had the privilege of making my way there myself, but if I was to do so, as Jones puts in a good challenge at the back and Chonkalai can come away with the ball on this left-hand side. If I was to do so, I can almost guarantee I would not see a stadium of this kind anywhere in Miami. Leonard Maloney, edge of the box in space, blocked by the Miami back line. So we are at Crown Lane today. I'm not actually sure where Miami play in real life. A lot of the MLS teams, well, I say a lot, maybe it's not a lot, but a not insignificant number of MLS teams play in their... Good ball, Nacho. Looking for Rodriguez at the back post. Play in their city's NFL team's stadium. That is the case for New England. They play at Gillette Stadium, which is the home of the New England Patriots. That is the case for Atlanta, who play at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home to the Falcons. That is the case for Seattle as well, the Sounders, who play at, what is it now, Lumen Field, home of the Seahawks. Sure, it's the case for a number of other teams as well. I don't think it's the case for Miami, though. Fairly certain they don't play at Hard Rock Stadium. Rodriguez almost getting in to block that clearance by the goalkeeper. Right start from New England here. We've got off on the front foot. Put Miami under a bit of pressure, and we'll look to do so again here with Rodriguez. Vrioni in the box, looking to score his first goal in the cup. It didn't take him long at all to open his account in the league. And we're hoping that we get the same kind of production from him here in this competition as well, as Chonkalai wins a corner. I've tweaked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's face a little bit as well. He looks a little bit better now, I think. It's always difficult to get those manager faces looking exactly how you want them. What a header, Neumann! And the rebound flashes wide. Absolutely snatched at the rebound. I'm not sure why he went with his right foot rather than his left. Because if he just would have swung a left peg at that, I'm fairly confident that would have found the back of the net, but instead he swings his right foot and it flashes wide. But the initial chance was just as good. The header from the corner, as Nacho Gil collects on this right-hand side, absolutely outmuscles Jordi Alba and cuts inside onto his left. Tries to thread it through for Vrioni, but can't quite thread the needle. And Miami are away here on the right-hand side. Vigant plays it inside to Ruiz. Suarez through the middle. We do have players back. Jones is just about beaten. Good strength by, I believe that's the Miami right back, Vigant. So maybe some space in behind for a quick counter-attack if we can find it. But the Miami defender is back in position. Shankly will just switch the play to Nacho Gil, though. Carlos Gil with a run up ahead of him, but we'll just retain possession for now. We do look to play fairly direct once we get in the opponent's territory. But that doesn't mean we have to try and force things. Carlos Gil. He'll try one from range as well. It does somehow find its way through bodies, but unfortunately also finds its way into the waiting gloves of the goalkeeper Calendar. And Rodriguez this time gives away possession again, trying to split the Miami defenders in two. And Jordi Alba now in an advanced position. Miami are certainly pushing their fullbacks forward. They are quick to retreat when they do lose the ball, and we'll see if that's the case again here. As Vrioni collects on the right-hand side. Not too much on up ahead of him, so again we will just retain possession, or at least we will try. But Philip Neumann has done what Rodriguez and Gil before him failed to do, and threaded the needle there. Unfortunately, it was a needle that we didn't want to be threaded. Played it right between the right back by and the right midfielder Gil. Found the one gap that we didn't want to find. Rodriguez, chance to use his pace against the Miami centre midfielder Freire. I think he's actually centre back, Freire. Not sure why he was so advanced in that case. Rojas. Vigant again in an advanced position. Good challenge. Jones. Can he clear? Yes, he can. And Shankly can come away on this left-hand side. Rojas tracking back. But we have Rodriguez running through the middle. Shankly finds him. Rodriguez strikes. The goalkeeper gets a solid hand to it, but can't prevent the ball from ending up in the back of the net anyway. And it looked in the last 10-15 minutes or so as if we might be able to get a quick counter-attack in down one of these flanks, because Miami have been committing their fullbacks to these attacks, and that's exactly how it ends up playing out. Vrioni not the first to score in the US Open Cup, but it is his strike partner, the Robin to Vrioni's Batman, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer identified as being the perfect partner for Vrioni up front. And it is Rodriguez that breaks the deadlock here in Miami. 25 minutes into the game and we have the lead. Messi has been anonymous. Suarez has been almost as non-existent. Busquets has failed really to control that midfield like we know he can. How long that will continue though, I don't know. Leonard Maloney manages to wriggle away from the Inter Miami challenge. And Rodriguez will play that in behind for Shankly, but he wasn't on the front foot there. Vrioni pressing high, trying to force a mistake. Messi dropping deep to collect the ball. Looks like he's frustrated with the start that Inter Miami have had to this game. Looking to collect the ball deep and start to dictate play a little more. Messi into the box. Good save, Tyler Dean. What a moment for the young rookie goalkeeper. Making a stop against Lionel Messi. Just months ago, he was yet to be drafted And now he's facing the best player of his generation, and undoubtedly one of the best players of all time. And he came up trumps there, and it's a good block by Neumann to force a corner. But Inter Miami are working their way back into the game. It was actually Kessler. I might need to change Neumann or Kessler's boots, because I can never tell the difference between them. I mean, Kessler, good challenge. And we just need to get rid here. Nacho Hill just hounds the ball against the Inter Miami man, who was pressing high. Here's Rodrigo's goal again. It wasn't a great finish, to be honest. Fortunately, it wasn't a great save either. It was pretty much point-blank range for the goalkeeper, so can't blame him too much for not getting a strong enough hand on it. But he was well positioned. Messi into the box and cleared, this time by Neumann. I'm confident of that. I caught a flash of his number that time. Miami continue to press, though. Oh, great challenge, Nacho Hill. And Vrioni is away on this right-hand side. Nacho Hill drops it just in behind the Miami defence for Vrioni to try to get on the end of. Didn't quite happen. And I think at this stage, we just need to try and make it to half-time. There's about 10 minutes to go. Miami are really pressing for an equaliser. So I think we will just drop back into our defensive game plan. Suarez this time causing issues. What an intervention again by Neumann. And Vrioni can just carry the ball upfield. Again, I don't think we need to force anything here, particularly with the lead. We could have tried to find the run of Nacho Hill there, but it wasn't a high percentage pass, and I would rather have possession at this stage of the game than risk losing the ball to Miami and having them transition into a counter-attack. So let's just get our feet on the ball. Let's just try and keep the ball for as many of these last 7 or 8 minutes as we can. Philip Neumann. Brandon Bye. Neumann once more. And Miami, they are sitting off, to be fair. They're trying to invite us onto them. They want to hit us on a quick counter-attack. Jones. Kessler. Neumann. I think Kessler actually still has the armband from the previous episode. That's poor. That's really poor. I did forget to make Carlos Hill the captain again. So just for this game, we will pretend that he is the captain. Kessler very much the vice-captain of this particular squad. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the very least. Good challenge, Jones. Chunkalai inside him. Rodriguez. Again with the run in behind. He is found. Nacho Hill on the right-hand side. Jordi Alba comes across to deal with it and deals with it incredibly. What a challenge. Miami split our midfield in two. Good challenge, Leonard Maloney. Just get rid. There's Nacho. Lays the ball into the path of Bye. Vrioni with a run through the middle now, and there's just a bit too much on the pass. Almost weighted to perfection. But just a revolution or two of the football, too many for Vrioni to get on the end of. But Vrioni would have been through on goal. We would have had a perfect opportunity to double our lead just before half-time. A perfect opportunity at the perfect moment. Good defensive work from Rodriguez. And that's a good strike from the edge of the box, but thankfully it goes over. And we do make it to half-time with a 1-goal lead. Miami very much grew in to that first half, and it has certainly been a slow day at the office for Lionel Messi. Not a shot from that left-hand side for him so far. And it's been an equally quiet day for Suarez, for Busquets. Jordi Alba's had a decent game at the back. But we are keeping quiet exactly the players that we need to keep quiet so far. Let's look to continue doing that in the second half. So back out for the second half here in Miami. And we will stick in our defensive game plan for the opening 5 or 10 minutes here. But we will be looking to double our leads. That's a risky pass from one brother to another. But it does come off. Thought we'd given the ball away immediately here in the second half. Thomas Chunkalai looking for the overlapping run of Jones. Who he finds. Brioni in the box. Doesn't quite get enough on the cross. And Miami through Lionel Messi, who will be looking to have a much bigger second half than he had in the first. Do a good job of delaying that counter-attack and forcing Miami back, though. Brioni wins the ball. And gets it back from Nacho Hill. Drives towards the Miami box. Cuts in on his left-hand side. Parried away by the goalkeeper. And then eventually claimed. But Leonard Maloney was lurking there, waiting for that rebound to drop on his head. And he would have dropped the ball into the back of the net undoubtedly. Nice touch from, I believe, Suarez. And then finds Messi on this left-hand side. Nacho Hill dropping in deep to defend as well. We do like him to come back on defence a bit more often than Thomas Chunkalai on the left-hand side. Suarez! What a finish. What a finish. Absolutely nothing Tyler Dean can do about that one. And Suarez gets his moment. And that is all a player like Luis Suarez, like Lionel Messi needs. Just a singular moment to change the game. And we saw that in episode 2 against Toronto. Lorenzo Insigne did exactly the same thing. Just a couple of moments. He was quiet for the majority of the game. That's such a poor pass, Maloney. He was quiet for the majority of the game and then absolutely changed it with 2 moments. Is Suarez going to do the same? What an intervention that is by Phil Neumann. And what an addition he has been by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it's actually going to be a goal kick. Neumann came across really well to make that block though. And we will step back up into our default game plan here. Get back on the front foot. Exactly what Carles Gil has managed to do. And Brioni ploughing forward. Carles Gil. And the defender just gets a toe on it. Carles Gil would have been in an excellent position on the edge of the box, but the Miami defender, I mean, I think it's not even a toe, probably just a stud, if anything. And Miami again pressing to take the lead for the first time in the game. Messi once more. He certainly had a brighter start to this second half. And there is Suarez. Is it Suarez? It is. Doubles his tally for the game. Grabs the lead from Miami. And what a start to the second half. They look a completely different side. Messi's turned it on. And again, what did we say? Suarez just needs a moment. He's had 2 moments in the game. That's it. But he's put the ball in the back of the net each time. Much closer to Tyler Dean on that occasion. But again, there's not a lot a goalkeeper can do in that kind of situation. It's close range. It's pulled back across him. It's just, it's an excellent move by Miami. And it's an excellent finish by Suarez. And I think based on our first half performance, we can feel a little hard done by to be down 2-1 at this stage. But based on Miami's second half performance, they also deserve to have at least 1 goal here. And really, you can't argue with either. Jones cutting inside for some reason. Just because there's not a lot on outside. Brioni pressing high. Brandon Bai wins the header. Can't find Nacho Hill though. And Jordi Alba tries to find Messi once more, but it's a fantastic intervention by Brandon Bai. Carles Gil takes a heavy touch. And Alba comes across to deal with it. And again, Messi can dictate the Inter Miami attack. Threads it through to Gomez. Alba in an advanced position on the overlap. Neumann's come across to deal with it. Gets turned inside out by Alba. And there's Messi. Good save, Tyler Dean. He gets a solid hand on that one. Suarez has beaten him twice, but he's made two big saves from Messi. Kessler. Switch of play here is on. Finds Brandon Bye. Really loose pass. Just needed to play it into the feet of Nacho Hill. But the pass is a loose one. And he gives the ball straight back to Miami. Good intervention. Carles Hill, though. And Vrioni can come away on this right-hand side. Rodriguez through the middle. Vrioni cuts the Miami defense in two perfectly. Rodriguez saved by Callender. And what a save. Really good counter-attack. It's been the system that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has tried to employ here in New England. Leaving players high up the field. Gambling a bit on defence that we're going to have the numbers back and the quality back to prevent teams from scoring and then hit them on quick counter-attacks. We've done exactly that there. But the Miami goalkeeper comes up with the save of the game so far, surely. And Vrioni can't quite find Carles Hill. Again, a really nice move down the left-hand side this time. But Vrioni can't quite find the run of Hill. Brandon Bye beaten again. He's not had a particularly good performance defensively today by Phil Neumann has, however. And again, he sets Vrioni away. Again, we've got runners up in support. One of whom is Nacho Hill. Can he cut inside onto his left? No, he can't. Dealt with well. Dealt with well by Jordi Alba. I think we might need to bring some fresh legs on at some point. We are well into the second half now. Approaching the 75th minute. And Alba on this left-hand side. Miami still leaving themselves exposed, even with the lead. Can we win it back on the edge of the box? Maloney. Good challenge, Kessler. Tyler Dean makes the save and holds it. Just rolls it out to Dean. He finds Chunkalai, who cuts it out onto his left foot and drives down the left flank. Can he find Vrioni in the box? It's actually Nacho Hill at the back post. And eventually Brandon Bye, who receives the cross. Chunkalai at the back post. Rodriguez there. Headed away before he can bring it down. Maloney can't quite find Bye. Another really good intervention, this time by Messi. And it's been a back and forth second half. And it's gone back, and again it will go forth. And it's gone forth, and again it will go back. Messi, what a save! Tyler Dean is just refusing to let Messi beat him. Worked nicely by Miami on the edge of the box, though. And another good save by Tyler Dean. What a young goalkeeper he is. Miami are going to make some changes. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the same. So 3 changes on the way for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Luciano Rodriguez has grabbed his goal, but he's going to make way for Bobby Wood. Boateng comes on the right-hand side for Nacho Hill, who's had a pretty good game as well. And Nick Lima comes on at right back. So we've got 2 pairs of fresh legs on that right-hand side, but it's actually on the left-hand side that Boateng comes away with the ball. It's such a poor pass, though. It's such a poor pass. Chunkalai was in behind. Boateng can't find him. And that would have been a real opportunity for an equaliser. Messi. Inside to Rojas. Neumann has to come across again. Does a good job again. Can't prevent the corner, however, as Miami look to put this game beyond all doubt. Rojas into the box. Cleared away by Carles Heel. And Kessler finds the ball at his feet. We could do with an outlet ball as soon as possible because I don't want Liam Kessler driving too far into Miami territory with the ball. I would rather that than giving the ball away, though, which is exactly what he did. Suarez looking for his hat-trick. Instead threads it through. Good intervention by Jones. But again, we can't break away. Leonard Maloney wins the ball back, however. Into the path of Chunkalai. Bobby Wood out in front of him. Brioni making a run to the back post. And he's found Brioni on the edge of the box. And what a save by Callender. Brioni with a chance to level it 3 minutes from time. Took up a position on the edge of the box rather than making a run towards the back post. And it was a good decision. Because he was found. Couldn't find the back of the net, though. Lima can't win the header. Heel can. But he gets too much on it. And Frioni almost steals the ball away from Jordi Alba. And it looks like Miami are going to be able to run out these last couple of minutes. We are in the 90th minute here. As Messi advances down the left-hand side. And that's going to be a revolution throw. Can we create one last opportunity here to level the scoring in the US Open Cup? Chunkalay, nice turn. Bobby Wood with a good run in behind. The goalkeeper's come for it. And it is just dropped into the box. Chunkalay got just enough on that for it to carry into the grateful arms of the goalkeeper. And Miami have the ball. 2 minutes of added time have elapsed, and it looks like they're going to come away with the victory. Referee is letting them play on. He's letting them search for a final goal. We need to get the ball upfield. But we know as soon as we do that, the referee's whistle is going to go. And indeed it does. And Miami run out 2-1 winners. I mean, we gave it a very, very good go. Miami, clearly the better side in terms of the players they have at their disposal. We have nobody even close to the quality of, you know, Suarez, Busquets, Jordi Alba, let alone Lionel Messi. And it was Messi and Suarez that really changed the game in that second half for Miami. A couple of moments of brilliance was all it took. And they do run out 2-1 winners. So disappointing way to lose. And disappointing to go out of the US Open Cup so early. At least I assume that's how it works. I don't follow the MLS too closely. But I assume it's like the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup. And it's one and done. But we certainly put in a respectable performance against a very, very good side with some very, very good players. So positives to take from the game, certainly. So we have 4 games left in the episode, each in the MLS, 2 of which we will quick sim, 2 of which I will play and show you the highlights. So it's a slightly rotated 11 for the matchup against Charlotte FC. Farrell comes into the back line alongside Kessler. Barrero comes in on the right-hand side in place of Nacho Hill, and Bobby Wood starts up front for the first time in the MLS in place of Brioni. And we do come away with a comfortable 2-0 victory. Thomas Chunkalai scoring in the second half, and he actually opened the scoring in the first half as well. Kessler picked up a yellow card, but a solid result. And ahead of our matchup against New York City FC, Brandon Bai dropped into Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's office. He wants to talk about renewing his contract. We have several players whose contracts are expiring this season, not just Brandon Bai, but also Jonathan Mensah, Andrew Farrell, Tommy McNamara, Polster, Nacho Heel, Barrero, Wood, Orega, Bolmer, Kay, Lima, Spalding, Romney, Edwards. We will, of course, be adding to the squad ahead of Season 2, so we will have to clear up some spaces on the roster. However, we also don't just want to clear the squad of all of the experience that we have currently. But for now, we have a game against New York City FC to focus on. They're going to play a 4-2-3-1 formation, and they have a handful of players who I do recognize. Burke Risa at centre-back is a player I used in my Redmond Rangers Road to Glory. He was excellent as part of a back three. James Sands in midfield is a good player as well. Looks like it's going to be Martinez, Rodriguez, Wolf, and Bakra to start up front for New York today. Whereas several first-team players return to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's starting 11. Carles Heel comes back into the side, but at right midfield today, Noel Buck comes in for a rare start at centre midfield, and Phil Neumann comes back into the back four. And as we did against Inter Miami earlier in the episode, we got off to a really quick start in this one. Giacomo Vrioni forcing a good save from the New York City goalkeeper within 5 minutes. New York did grow into the game though, and we had to rely on our own goalkeeper, first round rookie Tyler Dean, to keep things level. This one he parried away to his left-hand side from inside the penalty area. Really good reaction stop. And this save around the half an hour mark was a little bit more comfortable. And from the resulting corner, we did manage a quick counter-attack down the right-hand side. Brandon Bai driving all the way up the right flank with the ball before he pulled it back to Luciano Rodriguez, who had arrived late. He tucked it in for a 1-0 lead. Despite our quick start to the game and despite scoring the first goal of the game, New York City were the better side. And again, they forced another save from Tyler Dean. This one from around the penalty spot. A shot from Wolf, parried away again by Tyler Dean. But it was Wolf that would eventually level the scoring right before half-time, on the stroke of half-time almost. It was a shot that was initially blocked by Phil Neumann. Another very good defensive performance from him. Wolf met it on the volley though, and it does seem as though we have jinxed Giacomo Vrioni. We talked him up at the beginning of the episode, but he has put in several torrid displays in this one. On this occasion, he squared the ball for Carles Hill when potentially he should have shot himself. Carles Hill from a narrow angle could only hit the post. And our failure to take the lead gave New York City the impetus to do so themselves, and they did so in style. Santiago Rodriguez with an absolute worldie from just outside the penalty area. Tyler Dean getting nowhere near that one. And from there, we fell apart, and about 20 minutes from time, a completely free header at the back post secured things for New York, who would run out 3-1 winners. So probably our worst performance of the series so far, and certainly a deserved win for New York. And to compound our disappointment, DeJuan Jones actually got injured in the game as well, so we'll have to find out the nature of his injury. And it'll be a surprise to absolutely no one that DeJuan Jones has broken his toe, so he's going to be out for 3 months. And to compound our disappointment even further, Toronto hand us another 3-1 defeat. And those back-to-back losses mean that with one game left to play, we are now only on the periphery of the playoff places in the MLS. And our final game of the episode is against top of the table Inter Miami. Miami do thankfully rest Lionel Messi for this one, but Luis Suarez still features, as does Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba. Taylor comes in on the left wing. Other than that, a very similar 11 to the one that we played earlier in the episode. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer too features a very similar 11 to that US Open Cup game. Nick Lima, of course, coming in at left back to replace DeJuan Jones. This game got off to much the same start as the previous one did. We started the brighter, and Nacho Hill whipped in a really good cross early for Giacomo Vrioni to get on the end of. His header unfortunately flashed wide. This was so close to being 1-0. Rodriguez too was lively. He picked up the ball after it was cut back to him from the left-hand side. Worked an opening to shoot from the edge of the box. This time it was parried away by Callender. However, we did grab the opening goal just beyond half an hour into the game. Rodriguez's header at the back post was again saved by Callender, but Vrioni was on hand to tuck in the rebound. And we almost doubled our lead just before half time. It was Liam Kessler in the box who won the header from the corner, initially saved by the goalkeeper. Again, Vrioni was on hand to try and tuck in the rebound, but the goalkeeper got to it first. And from the ensuing counter-attack, it was actually Inter Miami who scored just before the half. Far too much time and space in the penalty area for the midfielder, who absolutely fired at home from just beyond the penalty spot. Again, we pressed in the second half for a winner. Thomas Chonkalai finding Giacomo Vrioni well in the penalty area, but he rushed his shot, snatched at it, and on the half volley, again, it flashed wide. But it was Luciano Rodriguez who had the best opportunity in the second half. Vrioni pulled it back to him. He was all alone in the penalty area, wide open. Not an Inter Miami shirt within 5 yards. But he too dragged his shot wide. A really poor finish. And it wasn't Inter Miami who took the lead late. Instead, it was us this time. Esmir Bayraktarevic came on and he made the difference late in the game, tucking a shot neatly past the goalkeeper to make it 2-1. But of course, we cannot have nice things on this game. The scripting completely took over, and Inter Miami equalized in the 89th minute. Tackles just made no impact whatsoever. There's Phil Neumann, and again it was Phil Neumann on the corner. Luis Suarez was there, got in front of Neumann somehow, and despite our 6'4" centre-back being well positioned to head this clear, Suarez won it in the air, and it was a 3-2 victory for Inter Miami within the last 2 minutes of the game. So a second defeat in Inter Miami in just today's episode, and 4 defeats in total out of our 5 games. So really, really poor, and a particularly frustrating way to lose. We had the lead 2-1 up in the 89th minute. Somehow Inter Miami still come away with the victory. So the month of March looks pretty torrid, to be honest. A 2-0 win over Charlotte FC in the quick sim is all we could muster. And that does mean we are out of the US Open Cup, and we are clinging onto a playoff place 9 games into the season. But we do have a full slate of fixtures to get to in the next episode in the month of May. We kick things off against Chicago Fire. We've got a trip to New York Red Bulls. We have got Philadelphia Union at home, New York City at home, and we have the Columbus Crew away as well. So we'll look to turn things around and get back to winning ways in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.